This series of programs is about a man's climb to a sort of fame and the effect it had on his life and the lives of those around him. Fred Dibnah, the Bolton steeplejack, was 40 years old when back in 1978 he took part in the first of 19 films which would record the ups and downs of his eventful career. From his earliest days, Fred had set his heart on a life at the top.
When I was a very small boy and I used to go to school on the tram, you see these little fellas with flat caps on, way up in the sky on top of factory chimneys, you know, and that fascinated me as to how they got all the little platforms up round the top. And life passed by, like, and passed a scholarship to the art school, you know, where my attitude to life changed a bit, like, you know, I thought I'd end up with a clean hand job, you know. Well, they had different ideas. They said, you know, you're very good with the hammer and chisel. You've got to be a cabinet maker. So they sent me to an undertaker's, you see, where, you know, it sort of, bloody hell, all them boxes, you know, and trestles, and even the undertaker himself looked like a corpse. So I thought, I don't fancy this, you know. So I got on my bike and went to Youth Employment Office, and they said, we've got a good job joiner in here, so I became a joiner. And at weekend, I used to go out pointing houses, and I got enough money to buy 5 ladders. And then one day, lo and behold, the Vicar of Bolton, Canon Norburn, rung up. Will you come and have a look at my church tower, which was like the biggest thing in town. And so all the other vicars, you see, around the town, I could waltz in and see them. Knowing that I've been allowed to have a go at that, like, I could have a do at their, like, lesser churches. And then after that, you know, I've never been out to work since, like, it made me day, you know, as you might say.
Praise God from whom yes, His flow. Praise to all creatures now below. Praise Him above angelic hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Fred's opening move in the factory chimney side of the business had been to clap a little one on his mother's house, which for the rest of her life he had to sweep because nobody else would.
Oh, how do you do? Is it all right?
Where have you been?
Oh, well, we've, you know, not so well. Doing our best. It'll all be done very smartly and speedily as possible. How long has it been smoking?
Well, a month or two.
A month or two? Oh, why didn't you tell me? You normally do, don't you?
Well,
You normally cause a lot of bother and
not
tell
time
me.
to do anything for me.
Oh, I know that. Well, right, stick it up, Donald. Right. I've got it a bit.
He's not a bricklayer, but he built that. Oh, it was awful. I didn't want him to do that. The evening news came round and took the photograph when I was at work.
I built this chimney when I were about 17 years old. We had a stack like the one next door, you know, with 5 pots on, which 4 of them were disused and smoke only went up one. So I thought, well, we'll take all these 4 down and build a nice chimney stack, you see. So I didn't really design it, I just built it. It just ended up that shape. Everybody said I was crazy, you know. But it never cracked, and it's got a lovely draft on it, you know. Suck your house slippers off when it's going at bottom.
So he went to art school. When he was about 17, you'd think he'd work in an office, not doing what he does now.
It's not so pleasant on a Monday morning, and it's cold and wind's blowing, and you look up, like, you know, and you think, oh, good God, you know. So this year it's been windy nearly every day. I don't think we've had above a month when the weather's been really decent. It's either been blowing a force 9 or raining or, you know, snowing or freezing cold. So you suffer. Summer's best, when sun's shining, you know, and everybody down below's all sweating away inside, and you were up there and a nice cool breeze blowing, you know, beautiful. Well, this particular job, I've got the contract for £7,000 to knock it down a brick at once, right down to the bottom. The reason for the price were I didn't really want the job. Like, if it had have been a repair job, which, you know, on average takes, what, a month, 5 weeks, it's not so bad. But when it comes into months and months, you see, it's a bit different. Furthermore, when there's only like one of you and such a gigantic pile of bricks, you know, you've got to have a stout heart to take it on your own. The Briar here, there's like too many buildings, you know, to drop the thing, like, or blow it up, as some people do. The chairman of Court Halls won't let it be blown up, so I've got to knock it down a brick at once. And now we're in with a chance to get something done. Like, we've got everything working according to how it should do, like the chute at the bottom is working well, which you can have a lot of trouble with them if you don't get the plates quite right. They keep getting bunged up, and you're forevermore waiting for the bloke at the bottom to clear out the bricks, and you've got to make sure he's out the way, because if you drop one down and it comes shooting out and hits him up back at neck, he's dead. Really, you're dicing with death with a rotten old top on the chimney, you know. There's been a lot of men died fiddling with them things. I've never fell off a big chimney, you know. You only fall off one of them once, like. One day, I fell off a pair of steps in a little girl's bedroom and landed on a drilling machine and knocked myself unconscious, and I don't remember much about it, but morning after, I couldn't get out of bed, and I had to stay there for 3 weeks, all through falling off a pair of steps. And, you know, that's about the only injury I've ever done myself. Donald, my labourer down there, he's like a very important man, you see. You've got to have a man who has got a reasonable amount in grey matter. Like here, this noise of these fans going, it's impossible to shout. You see, you get some young lad, like his heart can be in right place, but if he sees a girl in the office, he wanders away, and sort of when you need him, you know, you look down and he's gone. In the past, like, I've had lots of labourers, you know, some drank rather a lot, sort of led me astray in a way, you know. Donald, he's a staunch teetotaler, so in lots of ways he's a good ambassador for me, you see. He keeps me out of the pub. Good, look at that. Something gone wrong with it, Donald. Oh, bricks are coming out at all right, aren't they? Cheese butties again. Don't think we'll get a yard a day off.
No, just about down for June holidays.
No, we'll be lucky and all. Get fed up, I keep looking up there, you know. Well, most steeplejacks I know, people come and say, you're always drunk when he went up, like, you know, sort of. I wouldn't say that I've ever done it drunk, but if you were banging away with a big hammer all day, a few pints, don't do you any harm, it sort of kills the pain. There's no doubt about that, sort of I've had characters work for me who, in the morning at 9 o'clock, like, they got the shakes and sort of hell of a job getting up, but after they'd had about 5 pints at dinner time, they were quite full of beans. In 20 years, I've only ever had 2 calamities. One where a load of brick fell on top of a blacksmith shop and completely demolished it. And I thought, this is the end of my steeplejacking career. I can laugh now, but I didn't then, When I come down, I was shaking all over, in the pub for a pint. But Mr. Courtall decided that what I'd wrecked weren't worth keeping anyway, so there were only a very small claim off the insurance people, you see. Now, I have to have a third-party insurance policy for people like Courtalls. If I kill one of their operatives, I'm in dire trouble, you see. They'd commandeer my traction engine or something like that. Insurance men and me don't mix, the thing is that I don't intend dying, It's a bit like being a motor car racer or this fella who jumps over cliffs on his motorbike. I bet he's not got a life insurance policy, If he has, it'll cost him a fortune. No, I don't really bother with that side of it, I know one thing, I ain't going to die, There's no doubt about that. I'm going to die in bed with my boots on. Anybody rung up today?
No. I went in town this morning shopping.
Spending all my money again?
Mummy, there has been a man rung up for Daddy when Jay phoned. Yeah.
Oh,
When?
he didn't leave any name.
And what did he sound like,
I never spoke to him.
Happy at his work, devoted to his family, Fred nevertheless had a competing interest to which he was hopelessly addicted. This 1912 Aveling and Porter steamroller, which had taken him 14 years to rebuild.
This thing and me, it's a death do us part job because it's nearly caused divorce and much upset in the household and no holidays and, all that sort of thing, like, you love your bloody steamroller more than you love me and all that, which I think a lot of men who have these things will have gone through, especially the one-man banders who have one engine and one wife and one shed. My wife complains that, I spend more time here than I do over there in the house, you see. Well, I suppose in a way it's better than being down the pub all night or, out womanising or, doing breaking and entering or something like that. Well, it never had a name, you see, when I got it. So we were going to christen it. Well, when it made loads of row, I thought we'll call it Thunderbolt or something like that. And then I thought, no, I might gain a bit of grace if I call it after the wife, you see. Well, I keep telling her, there's not every woman who's got a steamroller named after her, Steeplejacking's a bit of a spasmodic job, so you can play with your steam engine instead, It's a bit like being very rich. You can just have a day off when you want, like. lots of people who I've come to know over the years with the chimneys say you spend too much time playing with your steam engine, you see, and you should come and get our job done, which in some ways is very true. I have neglected my business and, well, everything really for the sake of this 10 ton of iron.
Well, Freddie, the job is getting more urgent now, and of course you've about 30 or 40 feet to point, and there's one or two of the bands want replacing, so really we've got to get you on the job. We can't wait much longer.
I'm doing my best. Don't worry, Mr. Shelmerdine.
But I am a little bit worried because we want to get this job put right, because we've got the mill in good order, we want the chimney in good order.
Well, nothing will fall off, you know, I can guarantee you that.
Good.
And sort of, I'll be here soon as the last few bricks at the lilac have gone, I'll be here.
Yes,
you know, and you'll have me then till your job's finished. I won't be going nowhere else, you know.
Good.
Morning, Lenny.
And when could you do the job for us?
Oh, this is another problem. We'll be getting on towards next winter, you know. Here again, if summer's nice and healthy, you know, we might end up here pretty quick, you know.
You could complete it by the end of October, could you, Fred?
Possible, yeah.
Morning, Mr. Shepherd.
Fred managed to keep his engine in coal and his own head above water with some big chimney felling jobs. On a Sunday in 1979, he did one at Rochdale, which unforeseeably set him on the road to fame.
This is the job, Fred. These two chimneys, they won't drop it.
Oh, when you've got rid of mill, there'll be plenty of room. Like, I come the other day and had a look. There's an house over there on that corner. Well, if we can keep it away from that, where, you know, we don't want to upset the neighbours.
More towards the canal side.
Yeah. And we don't block canal up as well, you know.
No, make sure we don't.
Aye. I'd try and do them both at the same time, or not, you know.
Well, do two for the price of one, then you're all right.
Aye. Well, 400 foot little and 500 foot big one.
That's the cheapest you can do, is it?
Aye. So,
You'll soon be a millionaire at that rate.
Yeah, I think I could manage them by blocking canal up, you know, doing any damage, breaking any windows over there, you know. My main competition is the dynamite men when it comes to felling a chimney, you know. Sort of they'll come along and, you know, blow it up in half a day, so they only need a quarter of money I want. So really, that's why on television, everyone you see going down, it's blown up. You know, there's none of them done with the pit props and the big fire, like, you know, like they did it in 1899, which, you know, I like doing it that way because it's more spectacular, you know, and it's, you get a bit of a build-up to it. Whereas when you press that plunger, boom, that's it, you know, it's over with, you know, you've not really done so much, you know, you just destroyed something that it took a few men a long time to erect and a lot of hard bloody sweat and labour. And when they finished it off, no doubt, they put the Union Jack up and you've just blown it up with pressing a button. Whereas if you've got to hack your way through 3 foot of brickwork at the bottom with a few 100 tons squeezing on it, you know, it's not died too easy, has it? Unbelievable, this. We shouldn't be here today. I've had instances where people have come where I've wanted a couple of £100, 25 quid, and they've done it, you know, madmen, you know, no pit props, nothing, just chop the bottom out like a tree. And they don't know to an hour when it's going to go. You know, just keep bashing at it at each side, you know, when it's creaking and groaning, you know, just run out the road, you know, at great speed, like. You know, you don't need anything, only a sledgehammer and, you know, a bit of lunacy like, and you're in business. When you come on the insurance, man, you know, they'll send some little lad out from their office who's never seen a chimney fall down, and he's got to work it all out, the risks involved, you know. Well, by the time it's gone back to HQ, it could have been Groucho Marx who's knocking the damn thing down, you know, which upsets me a bit, you know, when I think, like, that all the ones I've done that have gone OK, and yet the premiums keep going up and up and up all the time. Well, I've nearly given them up altogether now, you know. If there's no tint way, I'll do it, you know, and take it on my own back. And good luck to them men, you know. I mean, they've got big Mark 10 Jags and pinstripe suits. What have I got, you know? Second-hand bloody Army Land Rover, you know, and just about managed to keep that going, like. Some years ago, I was doing one that, you know, when you come home at night, like, you know, I thought, Christ, you know, I hope the bugger goes right, because we'd only got 60 feet to get it in, wide. And I came home and having my tea in the kitchen, and it come on the television, here's one that went wrong. I knew it, somehow or other, there was something up somewhere in the chimney line, and I was running front room just in time to see this factory chimney straight through the middle of the mill, you know. Just been kitted out for a 3-shift system, you know. It's still shut, that mill, somewhere in Yorkshire. Chopped the mill in half. Well, them were the dynamite men, you know, sort of thing. Well, how do you think I should feel after that when I've got to do this one? They've got to get theirs in. I'd got to get it down a 60-foot slot, you know. Well, from that day to the Sunday that we did it, you know, my nervous system weren't too good. Round this side. Plenty of wood on there.
Go that way, Fred, isn't it?
What?
No, we're not on a bit.
No.
We're not on a bit.
Yeah.
If anything goes wrong, then you want ambulance.
Morning. Why, yeah. Well, we'll give it a general sousing over after. Oh, yeah, want to hear it roar.
Fred,
What, love?
how are you going on?
All right, love. How are you?
We'll be safe over there, won't they?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so.
Do you want me to light it like I usually do? No, I usually light it and then
Leave me alone, I don't.
and then he takes it off me.
Oh, you light the fire, you mean? Yeah. Oh, he's panicking like buggery, man, you know.
Who do you mean,
The Welsh fella.
Factory inspector, I don't know.
I mean, everything's beautiful.
And I'm more of a mind of you.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go that way, and the
Oh,
wind's blowing that way.
The
Everything's
bloody,
in its
if
favour.
it goes backwards, he says, you know, there's not a bloody 3 million to 1 chance.
He says to me, "What's in that tank?" I said, "I don't know. I thought you'd be able to tell me that." Being
Yeah. I don't bloody know. He asked me as well. He's nervous.
Anyway, that having been said, we will let you know when we've got all the evacuation done, when I've got this road sealed. We're sealing it off with major incident tape.
Yeah.
That white tape.
Oh, yeah.
Right, can we have everybody out, please? And beyond the white tape.
get going. Turn it round a bit. That's it. Right, now then. Right in the middle, there. No. There. That's it. Right, you can give it me now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lovely thing. Won't burn. You see it moving, the stick. That stick. I hope the bloody thing goes. It's going. Going. Go for. Do you like that? Right in the right shop, innit? Give us a kiss, love. You're all right now.
Well loaded, that.
It were a good one. I knew it. I had every ounce of confidence in that one. We'd just got it right.